Hello, Year 5, Year 6, wherever you may be, and welcome back to music. We are on week 4. Hope you are doing really well. I've had another great week. Maybe enjoyed a little bit of snow at the weekend as well. Today we are going to carry on learning a few more verses of our chant, the Greatest Railway, that we started last week, and we're also going to continue learning the section of body percussion which we can put in between the verses of those chants. We're also going to do a little bit of work keeping our pulse, that all-important word that we've been seeing in the last couple of music lessons. So doing a little bit more work and building upon our pulse keeping even further from last week. So to start, we're going to do a little bit of work again on keeping our pulse, that all-important music word we've been seeing in the last couple of music lessons. We're going to build even further than what we did last week with our tapping on different parts of our bodies, different number of times, then coming back to the top and then halving that number. You'll all remember last week that we replaced every first beat, whether it was on our heads, our shoulders, our tummies or our knees, with a clap. But this week, what I'd like you to do is see if you can follow 4 beats behind me. So that means that we're going to completely get rid of the 16, 8, 4, 2, 1, and everything is just going to be 4 beats each. But the 4 beats are going to change. They could be on your head, they could be on your shoulders, they could be on your cheeks, they could be on your nose, they could be on your ears, okay? So what I would like you to do is follow me and making sure we are tapping 4 beats behind what I am doing. So I'm going to demonstrate a quick example. If I was to start tapping 4 taps on my head, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I moved on to 4 taps on my shoulders, you guys would be starting tapping on your head 4 times when I am tapping the 4 times on my shoulders, and so on. So we're going to add a little bit of background music which is going to really help us keep that pulse really watertight. So just remember to keep your eyes on the screen, watching what I'm doing, which is going to tell you which part of the body to move on to next. Are we ready? Some great following there. What I think we will do is we will do that one more time. I'm going to make it a little bit faster, okay? Still following, making sure we know where to go next. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So before we get on to some singing of our chant today, we're just going to warm up our voices and the sounds that we can make with our voices. We did this maybe a couple of weeks ago, so what I would like you to do is repeat back after me following sounds. So z, 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 z. Ta, taka, taka, ta. Maka, 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 ma. Paka, pa. Sala, sala, sh, sh, sala, sala, sh, sh, tick, 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 pa, 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 pa. moo. Tick, 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 tick. Ooh. Shh, 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 shh. Shh, shh, shh. Ticka, ticka, boing. Mummy made me mash my M&Ms. Mummy made me mash my. Mummy made me mash my. Mummy made me mash my M&Ms. Really good, some great work and memorising there. Some of those were some quite complicated tongue twisters, so really, really well done. So we're now going to come back to our chant, The Greatest Railway, which we started last week. Remembering lots of you that we spoke about a chant and the type of song that it is. A chant was commonly sung all together in a group, and that word singing all together in a group was singing in unison. Can any of you remember what type of people would have sung that chant? Did any of you have a little think this week about the type of workers that might have sung a chant to really keep them going, to keep that pace, that pulse going in their work throughout their days? I can think of lots and lots of type of workers these days that might sing chants as they go about their daily lives. So we are going to carry on with our chant, The Greatest Railway. We are going to start at verse number 2. Now before we get going, lots of you this week might have been thinking, the Great Western Railway, who built that? Now this song we spoke about last week is an adapted version of Fill Me Aurie. That was our Irish folk chant. This is the Bristol version where the words have been changed, and the Greatest Railway is all about and was built by a man called Isambard Kingdom Brunel. Now he was a very, very, very clever engineer who built the Great Western Railway. It was finally finished in 1836 and it stretched out to be 116 miles long. Can you imagine that? It's quite a long way. So today we're going to start at verse number 2, which is in 1841, the line was built, the job was done. The line was built, the job was done to make the greatest railway. So the way in which we're going to learn this is exactly the same as last week. I'm going to say a line and then I'd like you to copy it back. Are we ready? In 1841, the line was built, the job was done. The line was built, the job was done. To make the greatest railway. Good, we'll do that one more time. In 1841, the line was built, the job was done. The line was built, the job was done. To make the greatest railway. Really, really good. So that was verse number 2. Let's have a go at number 3. From Paddington to Bristol town. The trains ran up, the trains ran down. The trains ran up, the trains ran down. On Great Western Railway. Some brilliant learning so far. We are flying through this. We will do verse 3 one more time before we put it with the music. Okay, are we ready? From Paddington to Bristol town. The trains ran up, the trains ran down. The trains ran up, the trains ran down. On Great Western Railway. Okay, so with your sheets there to help you, we are going to have a go all together, all the way through, revisiting our verse 1 from last week with verses 2 and 3, and not forgetting our little chorus, Tiggery, Ori, Orie, we put in between each verse. So, all together, are we ready? In 1841, quite a fast pace as well. So you've learnt a lot today, really, really well. The last thing we're going to do today is just revisit our body percussion section that was new from last week. So just remember, for this bit, you need to be sat down on a chair and have available a tabletop surface or at least something flat to work on. So the first part, can we remember? We tapped our feet just like this. That was what was keeping our pulse really, really rock steady. So we're going to add in, joining in when you can with those foot taps. Good, really, really nice. And then in the middle, we had our hands tapping in the middle of those foot stamps, and we used the word alligator to help us remember that rhythm. So it sounded like this: alligator, clap, alligator. I'm going to let you guys have a go now. Are we ready? We're going to go after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. Good, and a clap at the end. Just to finish, we're going to do that body percussion step 4 times over, one after the other, but we are all going to do it together. So making sure we're all sitting down. We've got each other for this. We're going to get through it. It's going to be great. We're going to start after 4, sitting up straight with our feet, keeping that pulse. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Brilliant. Another great lesson today, some absolutely fantastic work from all of you, so really, really well done. Hope to see you next week for our last lesson before half term, and we will keep going with that body percussion, and you're all going to be body percussion superstars by the end of this. Hope you have a lovely week once again. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next week. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye.